low points of Bitcoin in the history was what? Silk Road Association, Mount Gox going down. Can you just talk about both of those things and how they're probably not going to be repeated again, or could they be?
They could and they will. So first of all, there's this issue of black markets, right? And what is a black market? Black market is what the people who run the white markets call anything they don't control, is the broad term. It's the market that isn't taxed. Right. And it's also the market where people go to get things that they can't get elsewhere, which usually means things that are illegal in some jurisdiction. But not every jurisdiction is the same, and not what's illegal in one place is not illegal in some other places, right? There are plenty of things that are legal here that are not illegal in France or Holland or America, and vice versa. And so black markets happen, and they've always happened. In fact, if you look at the statistics, I believe the majority, more than 60% of the world economy, is in black markets. The minority is in what they call white markets. And the reason people go to black markets, and I think it's important to emphasize this, is not because of a moral failure. The propaganda is that bad people who are immoral go to trade on black markets. The truth is, black markets don't represent moral failure, they represent market failure. The reason people go to black markets, which are more expensive, more risky, and have both risk of loss and, in some cases, risk of violence, is because the white market has failed to serve their needs, whatever those needs are. And so if you take a step back and stop making a moral judgment and look at it objectively and say, why do black markets exist? Black markets exist because there is demand for something that the market is not supplying. And
like the classic example was like Russia back in the day to buy dollars.
Right.
This is back in the 90s when it was really closed. You're not a bad person for wanting to buy dollars, but it's obviously the market, the white market is not giving you that option when you're there. So now you have to go somewhere else to do it, where you get an off-market exchange rate and you deal.
Right. Yeah. And what type of black market you have in your environment is a representation of how privileged you are in your white markets. So if the black market serves primarily for recreational luxury goods and, to deal with the vices of society, that means you live in a society where most of your needs are met by secure, above surface markets, right? In Venezuela, the black market is for food, right? And that's because there is no market for food that's working. So again, I think it's important to take a step back and not make moral judgments. So why do people use black markets? Because white markets fail. Will there always be black markets? Of course. And Silk Road shut down, 20 others popped up in its place. And will people use Bitcoin to trade on black markets? Yes, of course they will. Why? Because it's a very good form of money. It's a very effective form of money. And people use technology to commit crimes. They use the internet to commit crimes. They use telephones to commit crimes. The first automobiles were driven by gangsters running away from banks. The first shoes were probably worn by someone who clubbed someone else over the head and stole their stuff and needed to run away fast. Criminals use technology because they operate at the highest rate of risk and profit. And so their ability to leverage competitive edge through technology gives them the best return, right? And so they're early adopters of technology, always have been, always will be. Now, I don't want to be flippant, but the fact that criminals use the technology is really an endorsement for that technology. It means it's better than the other technologies that are out there because they're testing that technology in an environment where things are very difficult and very risky. And so if it succeeds, that's an endorsement. The technology itself is neutral. People can use Bitcoin to buy food. In fact, in Venezuela right now, they are mining Bitcoin to order food from Amazon Pantry. I'm not joking. In a country under currency embargo, they're using Bitcoin to buy food from Amazon and have it smuggled across the border. So good people will use money to do good things. Bad people will use money to do bad things. And that has always been the case. It will always be the case. Exchanges will get hacked. individuals will get hacked and there will be money losses. Again, that's not Bitcoin though, you know. So it's important to look behind the hype. The media loves to sensationalize these stories and paint Bitcoin as something that is weird and deviant and alternative, but it isn't. And if you look back, you'll see they said the same exact things about the internet, right? In the beginning, in the first few years, they said that the internet was a den of thieves, pornographers, and terrorists. And then it goes mainstream. And now, you know, what do most people use the internet for? Posting cat videos. So eventually, as Bitcoin goes mainstream, what will people use it? Probably to buy cat videos on the internet.
Continue watching this fascinating conversation for free by clicking on the link below to visit our website, learn from the best minds in the world, and connect with a community of passionate people building the best versions of themselves. Just click on the link below, and I'll see you on the inside.